What's going on, guys? My name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview video. And today, my goodness gracious, it's about the black market. It hit like a bombshell. Like, my goodness gracious, I was not expecting that the black market would come this soon. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good call by Wargaming. Wargaming wants to let the players lose their gold they got from the Christmas market, Christmas boxes, and the credits from the boosters throughout Christmas. Because let's be honest, gold on our accounts is lost money to Wargaming. So it makes sense that Wargaming, after just 1 month of the Christmas boxes being gone, are doing the black market. So now, in today's video, I would like to go through the video. Maybe we can find some small little things. Then I want to show you what we had last year, which may or may not be able or give us a hint what could come this year. And lastly, I got some personal prediction. And honestly speaking, on one prediction, I am very, very confident. It may or may not be true. I'm very, very confident because several signs point exactly towards that. So now let's have a look at the video. I'm going to stop it here and there when I have different things to talk about.
I need a team to get some new stock. We need it all in 7 days.
Talking about the video, I have to say, very well done that Wargaming put so much effort into this video. But then again, it makes sense. It's a huge event for the players and it's a huge event for Wargaming.
Who's that? We need our team. They'll get us anything we need.
And this kind of reminds me a little bit of Rick and Morty, the one episode of the newest episode series. You know what I mean.
Are those 3 guns? Oh, ready?
Okay, this is the first clue which I was discussing with a friend already. Are those 3 guns? And he turns it around and he's like, oh, okay, looks like he understood that it's not 3 guns. So obviously this is a little bit weird because there are not really any tanks with potentially 3 guns. But there are tanks in the game which are premium, which have a 3-shot autoloader. So maybe we are going to get the IS-3A or the Progetto 46. However, I do think it most likely could be the IS-3A as it wasn't sold recently. Plus, it was sold last year's Christmas boxes, so maybe. I'm not sure, maybe it could be, but it's a little bit of a long shot because it could also just mean that he saw like a tank with 3 looking guns or something like it has 3 guns. In the sense of like the mouse actually has 2 guns, or for example the M3 Lee in theory has 3 guns, with one being in the hull, the one being in the turret, and so on and so forth, you know. Reckless is very happy to punch some people dead.
Chill out. Is that a tank? Nah. That's the tank.
The issue is nobody really said about what the tank could be. And there are not really any things which would say that. And that's just silly.
Your move. Look at those. One more KV5 joke, and I will shove you into this suitcase.
Now that's just rude against... I actually don't know what the scientific name for those people. I wanted to call them midget, but that would be an insult, so I'm sorry. But it's a good joke. Again, the whole video is very well done, and I have to say very, very well done by Wargaming for putting up so much effort for this video. But yeah, the other thing, KV5 may or may not be an opportunity of something for this tank. And interestingly enough, if we look at this, I looked through it and there wasn't really anything which really could give us any, should we say, any real information of what could be. Interestingly enough, expires set year, expires get full year +1. It could say that it's a recurring theme for every single year, but again, I'm not sure. And lastly, you all the time see this Raven logo, which is apparently the black market logo. And I'm sorry, I do not know of any tank which would have this logo as an emblem or as a 3D skin. Because, and this is where we start now, or next, Here is a comprehensive list of what in last year's black market was. The Leichte Kampfpanzer GF, it was a black tank, black dog for 5 million credits. The FCM 36 Pack 40, the Time 95 Gold, the Saxon one, the FV 215B, as well as the WZ 111 Alpine Tiger, Kanavan Action X, Hydrostat, the Panzerkampfwagen 2 Ausführung J, the Panzerkampfwagen 5.4, which I was very happy to get, the T-34B, the tier 10 3D skins we had in the last year's loot boxes, and the IS-6B, as well as the Foch 155. So, they always say rare and never be sold tanks. In this list, we had 2 tanks which were never being sold before. The Type 95 Gold, but then again I have to say, it's a little bit of a gray area. And lastly, the Panzerkampfwagen 5.4. It was never sold anymore after the beta time. The only tank you could also call never been sold would have been the Hydrostat, because it was only sold in huge bundles at either €100 bundle for gold or in the end bundles with a mouse. So, obviously, important to note is that you can need credits for this black market. I'm very certain that Wargaming is going to sell some tier 6 or some tier 8 premiums again for credits. Most likely some tanks which have a little bit of a resemblance to black. So maybe we'll see this time an IS-6B. Maybe we would see the Mutz in the black version. It's hard to judge from that. We know for a fact though that Wargaming teased us a little bit with a picture of the T-44-100, if you remember correctly, and that's actually something I didn't really prepare it. But there was a tiny little thing, this one right here, as a potential announcement. It was made on the World of Tanks picture or World of Tanks YouTube channel, and interestingly enough, again, you can see that here we have this weird looking gun mount, we have the side skirts, the asymmetrical road wheels, and if we quickly go into the game and I'll give you the T-44-100, which is in my garage. The issue is I'm not entirely sure if Wargaming is going to sell this tank, because it is expensive. It's €50 for a medium tank. But again, you can see the dead giveaway side skirts, the 5 road wheels with one being a little bit apart, the weird looking gun mount, and that is why I personally think this might be a dead giveaway. I can see 5 road wheels with one being a little bit further apart. So maybe T-44-100. But yeah, like, I also do think that Wargaming may or may not is going to sell the 183 again, because Valerie kind of teased it. It's the girl which is doing the monthly rundown in a German video. Like in last year, she was saying she's looking forward to take her Death Star out for a spin. It could have been also something for the camouflage which was on it, but again, it's a little bit of a gray area. In the end, we will be looking forward to see different tanks, rare tanks which is not being sold that often, and obviously for most free-to-play players to get a decent chunk of tanks for free, aka for credits. So, now, let's have a look at evidence we have for other tanks getting sold in the black market. I want to point your direction at this little list right here before we go to another list, because that is very, very important. Previously to the black market, Wargaming changed the prices of those tier 10 vehicles to 5 gold. Why exactly 5 gold? Because if we once again go back into the game and give in 5 gold, excuse me, not 50, obviously only 5, you will see it would cost you on 2,000 credits. That's what I'm about to say. And Wargaming gives every single tier tank in the game, and every single premium tank gives it a gold price, or every single reward tank, they give it a gold price. So in theory, if you're going to sell that tank, you will get half the amount of its gold value in this 1/400 credit scheme or conversion rate. And this is very, very important to point out, because if Wargaming sets a tank to 5 gold, it has an equal value of 2,000 credits, and you always get half the amount of value of your tank when you sell it. It means that tanks like the 183 and the Foch 155, which have a value of 5 gold and were sold last year, you can't sell them again for its real price, like a tier 10 tank. Because we tried to sell the Foch 155 it gives us the 1000 credits back. The 1000 credits, as already mentioned, which is half of the 5 gold price. If you now look at, for example, a reward vehicle like the M60, which you can buy in the bond shop, you get 4.5 million. The T95E6, 4.5 million. And we go back to the tank to 215B, which we can try to sell. And you can see this is also one of those tanks which is just 1,000 credits. And the 103, also 1,000 credits. So that is also a little bit of a could be a theoretical dead giveaway for this black market thingy. So this list doesn't give us anything. This is just how normally Wargaming gives those tanks a price, especially as we are going to have a new Clan Wars campaign with the KV4 Kraslavsky, with the Chieftain, and probably sooner or later we're going to get some more informations about when the last season of Ranked is coming around. So yeah, that Wargaming is preparing that tank to be sold for gold, or not sold for gold, but if you want to sell it yourself, you get the equal amount of credits for half of this gold value. Now comes the interesting part. With 1.7, Wargaming changed the price of the AMR 35 to 500 gold, and now get this. The Object 777 version 2 price got changed to 5 gold. Meaning, if you try to sell it, you will get the same amount of credits as with the 183, the 215B, and the Foch 155. It is important to note for the people which say, oh, this may or may not be a reward vehicle for, I don't know, something like the 279, a new campaign, a small mini campaign, you know, a small mission chain. And here I have to say, I'm sorry, you're wrong. 279 has a gold price. The 260 has a real gold price. And in my opinion, that is a very, 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 very dead giveaway, because even the AE Phase 1, which was a gift tank for grinding frontline, has a real life currency attached to it, a real gold price behind the scenes. So if you want to sell it, you get 3.5 million credits. T55A, same thing here, 3.5 million. So I personally think that this may or may not be a dead giveaway, that we might get a special tank in this black market. Because there, as of my knowledge, no other tanks which were given away for Clan Wars, for campaigns, etc., that has such a weird pricing scheme. That is why I think the 777 is a very, very dead giveaway. And interestingly enough, it's a tier 9 Russian heavy tank. Sure, you could say, but Raging, the 215B can be bought in the bonds shop. Yes, that is true. That's the case. And it only gives you 1,000 credits. That is true. That's entirely true. But the majority of the tanks which is being sold there, especially the tier 10 Clan Wars reward tanks, have a real price attached to them. So again, for the EU server at least, I do also think that the IC-140 could be, but again, let's just quickly go through those tanks. The Object 777 version 2 may or may not be the tank which could come. It's an interesting vehicle, it is very, very flat, it looks interesting, it is in the game files for a long time, so it might be interesting that those tanks will be sold in a black market, especially as the black market kind of teases a little bit in the sense of, oh, look at us, we got spicy stuff, we hacked them, we can get everything they want. So yeah, 777 version 2 may or may not be in this tank. The IC-130 would be a really interesting addition to the European server, because we didn't have this tank yet unsold. Then there are some things going around that the Object 703 version 2 100mm, it's the 703 version 2 with a 100mm gun, might be sold as the premium tank, while the 122mm version will be loot box exclusive. Again, don't know it, may or may not be true. So this might be the case. that this tank could be sold in the black market. Lastly, there's a wild guess. KV4 KDTS may or may not be something we might finally see. Would be cool. It has a real tank price put to it. This tank does not really have a real tank price, so this would be a long shot. This one has one of those special prices, and again, this one has a special price, so this one could be a very well option. This one was also teased by somebody, the M4A1 FL10, or thought about. It has a 4-shot autoloader. It's basically something like the Stritzwagen on tier 6 with the FL10 turret, just with the M4A1 chassis. And lastly, something I just saw, which also has a special 5 gold prize, is the VK6501H, which was never sold before, and it's understandable because it looks rubbish. At least the gun does. But yeah, those are the tanks, which may or may not come. I don't know. It's anybody's guess at the moment. This tank, as far as I know, has real-life gold price attached to it. It does. The hydrostat, I do think as well. Yes. So, yeah. This is my prediction. This is my reaction about the black market sale. Will be fun to get up at 5 a.m. for Central Europeans and not 6 a.m. like last time. Darn it. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what is going to be sold. I'll keep you up to date if there will be any leaks. And yeah, that's it, because Wargaming really does keep their mouth shut. I'm not exaggerating. They do not say a single word. But yeah, my name is RagingRaptor. One more thing, skins may or may not be coming. There are some skins out there which were not yet sold, which I also sadly again forgot about it. Sorry for that. Just quickly have to open up Dawn Patrol FV40. I do know that the FV4005 Stage 2 has gotten a skin, and there are a lot of skins. There are also some other skins for the IS-3, for the T-44-100, and so on. But yeah, we got some skins for the Prosciutto, the S140PM. This one we already got. This one we didn't got yet. This one we'll be getting for CV. We didn't got this one yet. Again, I got you a video of all those skins in the comment section of the iCard below or above. So maybe Wargaming is going to try and sell these skins as well. My name is RagingRaptor. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment if you want to keep up to date. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to be up to date for everything World of Tanks related. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a different video. Cheers, guys.